Maybe we should do that more often, though. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Do what?
Just banter.
Yeah. Welcome to the Gamepad Saga Podcast. I'm Eric.
Kishion.
How you doing today, brother?
I'm good.
So, I guess we'll switch it up a little bit today. Go ahead and tell them what we're going to talk about.
As I'm drinking mid-beer. So today we're going to kind of make it so it's more of a gaming news type episode. Some of the things we wanted to ask you, the viewers, and, talk about amongst ourselves about the gaming industry and some of the things that have been going on. For example, exclusivity.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, kind of like what Nick said when we had him on the podcast with exclusivity. It was, when we were kids, it was either you were Xbox, PlayStation, or GameCube.
Yeah.
At that time, anyway. That was the height of the console war, I think. Between that, I think it was what? If GameCube was out, then it was PS2?
Sounds about right.
PS2, and then the original Xbox. I feel that generation of game systems actually put peak competition between the three.
Yes, I agree. I would agree.
So at that time, you had games. We'll go with GameCube, for instance, TimeSplitters 2. You had all the Nintendo games, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart Double Dash, all the Fire Emblem games, things like that. And then you had multi-platform games that had exclusivity with Soul Calibur. Was Soul Calibur 4 or 3? I think it was 4.
I want to say 4.
So you had,
I don't know why. For
the Nintendo version, you had Link from Zelda.
Yes.
PlayStation, you had Kratos. And then for the original Xbox, you had Veer
and Yoda. Yes.
So, I mean, it was cool to have exclusive content for games like that back then. We still kind of have that now. Going to the present day where I think it was Modern Warfare 2, when Call of Duty or Activision and PlayStation had a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a monopoly, but they had a pact that they had signed, exclusivity
like an agreement.
From PlayStation. Yeah.
Was it to get the games first?
Yeah, you got the game first a week ahead in advance. So you only got not the multiplayer, but the campaign.
So it wasn't like exclusive where you only had it on one system.
No, no, but it was exclusivity in content.
Okay.
But you got the game first, and then you had the Ronin skin that came out, and that was like my favorite skin. So I used it in Warzone all the time. So, I mean, those are examples of exclusivity, but we're going to go really into exclusive games being on certain platforms, like Halo being on Xbox, not Call of Duty, but God of War being on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And Mario only being on Nintendo. Mario will never go away from
Anywhere.
Nintendo. Mario's never going to be leaving, so we're not even going to even touch that. I kind of miss... I know we're going into an era where exclusivity is no longer going to be a thing. Do I agree with it? In the time of what's going on with all our consoles, going into the streaming era, going into digital age, it wouldn't make sense to have exclusivity. Maybe content, maybe some content, yes.
Okay.
And that would still to preserve competition. In my mind, competition was what made you make the choice. Competition was what made you love whatever system that came out. Like, you loved what they put out. Like, you supported what they put out. And back then, games they had some love, right?
They did.
They had love.
Yeah.
They might have not been the greatest games, right? The storyline might have sucked.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't look that great. All the rest of that good stuff. But the gameplay was good.
It was on point. Yes.
Gameplay was good. And I think that's ultimately what people like is gameplay. Right? Doesn't have to be great, but damn it, if it plays good and I can do cool shit and all the rest of the good stuff, yeah. Definitely replaying this over and over and over again.
Regardless of the graphics.
Right. But, with competition, I think you still get a sense of belonging, I guess, in a sense. Like kind of, me and you are PlayStation fanboys through and through. Doesn't mean that I don't like playing on Xbox or PC or Switch or GameCube or whatever.
Because there's always a genre or a game that's on another system.
Like a lot of my RPGs, PlayStation and or Switch.
There you go.
Play them both. I enjoy RPGs. But it was a fun time, though. It really was a fun time when it was like,
yeah.
Oh, you're stupid if you like Xbox, or you hate your mom if you like PlayStation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and other expletives that we now can't say that we used to call each other back in the day. I mean, we could say it, but we want to be respectful.
Yeah.
We say it behind closed doors, though. I mean, who doesn't? Come on now. Y'all can't sit here and say, I don't see that no more. Get out of here. Get out of here. Maybe not to anybody else, but like your close friends, yeah. That's how y'all grew up talking to each other.
Exactly. I mean, trash talk.
Yeah, although still respect to other people. So, but my take on exclusivity, I liked it while it lasted.
Okay,
I did. I just brought it. Like I said, you had a side competition. You pitched something,
right? So for me, try not to be biased because we were fortunate enough to have multiple systems, so we had that opportunity to play the different genres, and I don't want to say widen our gaming library because my library always stayed small. But if you want to play XYZ, hey, we can go do that. I get it was a marketing thing. Hey, we got this game, come play it. Like Halo, we mentioned earlier.
That was Dad's thing. Go check out the first episode. Go check it out.
But as time has gone on, now, the big hitters bought up all the studios.
Yeah, that's another topic in itself.
And recently, some big Xbox news. So a handful of Xbox games will be available on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I was like, oh, so that's where we are now.
Did they release any of that games yet?
Not yet. I did see something for spring 2025. So it's almost here. Yeah. So the Xbox exclusives that are moving to PlayStation include, now this is only a rumor, Halo, I guess the Master Chief Collection, Gears of War, but one has been confirmed definitely, and that's Forza 5 coming over the PlayStation. And now for PlayStation going to Xbox, that includes Genshin Impact, Death Stranding, rumors of Final Fantasy 16?
XVI?
Yes.
16, yeah.
Black Myth Wukong and Helldivers 2. Just a rumor. But it's interesting seeing them, the exclusives, swap. Kind of like, I don't know, kind of like streaming giants, how, Paramount will own a movie, but they're like, hey, you can go to Netflix this week, then you can go to Hulu this week. Kind of feel like that, where they want to go.
Now that you've said that, I've come to a revelation actually, because I just said I think it's good that I don't think it makes sense to have exclusivity, but that so pissed me off just now. I'm just like, hold on. Genshin Impact is going over to Xbox.
Yeah.
And also, what was the PlayStation that were going over there?
Death Stranding, Final Fantasy 16.
Final Fantasy 6. I gotta stop you right there. Final Fantasy has never been on X. Well, no, I lied. Final Fantasy 13.
That was on Xbox.
Yeah, 13-2 in Lightning Returns was on Xbox. I remember because I had actually bought Final Fantasy 13 on Xbox when I had it in college. Actually, no, I had both Xbox and PlayStation in college. I had it on PlayStation. But after that, that was kind of like a one-time thing where it's like, oh, okay, we'll just go ahead and just see how it works. I mean, sales didn't go as well, I don't think, anyway. That's why they haven't had
any return there.
Any Final Fantasy on there since then. I got to sneeze. Hold on.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
God bless you.
Thank you. But 14 came out. That was a PC only game because it was an MMO. Then 15 came out. No, 15 was on Xbox too.
Before we go there, so how do you feel about PC games? Because most of them stayed on PC. I don't believe many crossed over to consoles. Well, I guess because consoles couldn't probably not handle.
No, consoles can handle them now because you got Rust. Rust was this is an example, but Rust was a PC game that came out, I think, like 2015 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. And just recently came out on consoles, not too long ago. PUBG was another one that came out on consoles not too long ago. I think 2017, 2018 is when they came out on console.
Sounds about right.
So, I mean, the game systems nowadays are powerful enough to play those. Yeah. Now, if you're going back in the day, how I felt about it then, I thought it was unfair because the games were a bit more advanced on PC.
Okay. Yeah, I probably felt the same way. So that makes sense.
Nowadays, I just actually watched something on Maximilian's channel. Check him out, guys. Maximilian, dude, one of my favorite fighting game YouTubers to watch. He talked about actually games nowadays. PC takes the emulation from PlayStation.
Really?
If it's made on PlayStation, they're going to take whatever is made on PlayStation and port it to a PC. So sometimes now we're getting to a point where, I mean, unless you have like a $3,000 computer, nowadays you can customize it, do whatever you want on a PC, and make it look good, right? Make it look to your liking, and make it run well. But
that's what most people do,
right? Yeah. But even still, now you got games that
with their modding,
but they play better on their native system. Beforehand, it never used to be like that. Now you have options to choose from, which is cool. I mean, it doesn't pigeonhole anybody to either get a PC or get a PlayStation or get an Xbox. I'm a proponent. I'm a big console guy. And anyone that comes into the game store, they always say, "Oh, if you would choose, well, would you get console or game system?" Well, I mean, a PC. I would say PC. I say PC all the time. I do because you have. Again, it's not so much the experience, but you have more options to choose from on a PC.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's why I say do PC, because, I mean, you're literally going to be playing every game that's on the systems. Now, granted, if the game comes out on the system before it comes out on PC, you're going to out the break, you're going to have issues. Screen tearing, all kinds of stuff. Audio issues, whatever it may be, until like the next patch comes out or something like that. Oh man, I got stuffy nose.
Do you need to turn on a fan?
No. I'm just, I've been sick all week.
Okay.
But yeah, it's. I just think that now you have so much options to choose from now, and I mean, to answer that question, nowadays, I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's on PC, but if it was beforehand, that was a big issue because you were kind of left behind. Even when 360 first came out. So 360 had a game called Shadowrun. It was actually a pretty sick game. I don't know if you...
Shadowrun. It sounds familiar.
It was like a arena shooter.
Okay.
And it was the first game you could actually play on PC and on 360.
Oh, wow.
And you can play online with PC players. But mouse and keyboard always trumps controller.
Controller, yes.
It does.
Yeah.
At that time, anyway. Now you got all these mods and everything like that. Anybody that wants to call the game store or ask me about any type of Cronus Zens, jump off a bridge or get better at the game. That's all I'm saying.
Get good.
I'm saying. You don't need to do all that. I mean, if you want to cheat on your homework, that's one thing. Yeah. I don't care about that, because at the end of the day, you got to figure out if you're good on the test. But if you're doing 1v1, you going head up with somebody and you can't, and you get your ass beat, don't cheat. Don't do that. Don't cheat. Don't cheat in that. I mean, you can cheat in sports. You can, when I played football, shit, pass interference every time.
Mhm.
Every time. Every single time. Never got called. Why?
Right.
Because I knew how to hide it.
Yeah.
But I'm physically battling somebody because they're doing the same thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go out there. I'm going off topic. I'm sorry. But don't go out there and be like, oh, let me go ahead and get a Cronus and go ahead and wipe the floor with everybody because no one else is cheating but me.
Oh my gosh.
And you're like, look, Mom, look at me. I'm good at the game. You see what I can do? When you're really cheating. That's the difference. That is a big difference where a lot of people don't cheat. You cheat in something that a lot of people don't cheat at. That's crazy.
It is.
It's competition. Get better. Just get better. That's all I say. And if anyone gets offended by that, send location. I don't care. I'll send my location. We can talk it out.
We're doing this.
But you're garbage if you have to use that. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, you're good. I mean,
I just get upset when people call, hey, you got a Cronus in? I'm like, did you come from your mother? Because if you did, she should be very disappointed in you right now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I'm 2 beers in and I had a long day at work, so I'm just getting some aggression out.
It's all good.
But what do you think? What do you think about the exclusivity nowadays as opposed to back then?
Like I said, back then, we were fortunate to have the consoles where we could play them. I just don't see it as exclusive today as it was before.
Mm-hmm.
With everyone wanting to increase their bottom line. So they're like, hey, we'll just ship it over there and we'll have more people come to our platform or console and try to get another person to buy our product.
So this raises my next question. It's kind of apples and oranges, but it's in the same category.
Mm-hmm.
So games like, Call of Duty's kind of stayed true to its gameplay when it comes to online and stuff like that. I know you're not a big online guy, but what do you feel about games that originally had a tough skill gap that you had to actually get good at to play, but then when a newer iteration comes out, now that skill gap is completely gone? So let's say Gran Turismo, for instance.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo in the beginning of its online or maybe even head-to-head, was the skill gap or the mechanics of the game a lot harder than they are now? And if so, why would they make it easier for someone else to play? And does that bother you?
For me, I would usually just play with my friends, open a room, play with them. Occasionally, we would get like a random in there. Of course, sometimes they'll wipe the floor with us, but everyone has a different way of tuning their car.
Mm-hmm.
But for them to make it easier, I've noticed games will make the gameplay like very easy, just so you can pick up, play, like anyone could. It's all about the, what do they call it? Common player? Casual player.
Yeah.
And that I'm kind of like, WTF?
Okay, so you don't agree with that?
Correct. It's like, why do you want to dumb down your game? Well, they do it so everyone will pick it up and play, but it's kind of...
I'll give you a prime example of a game that I did that to me, and I was like, God, I hate this. I mean, I love the game. Guilty Gear.
Okay.
Guilty Gear, one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Yeah, so if you played Revelator 2 or the XRD series, so you had Guilty Gear XRD, which is X3 because it came out with Guilty Gear X, Guilty Gear XX, and then Guilty Gear XRD, XXX. Obviously, 3 X's in a row is not PG-13 appropriate.
Right. WrestleMania 30, we're looking at you.
Yeah, we're looking at you, baby. Coming up soon. Wait, no, we're past 30, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying their stage was XXX.
Oh, yeah. I got 2 words for you. Suck it. But, where was I at? But yeah, they dumbed down the game so that more people could pick it up. Now, mind you, it's still a process, to make some good string combos.
Right. So, before you go any further, I did start playing one of them in the library.
Guilty Gear?
Yeah.
Which one? Accent Core?
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Where am I at? Here we go.
Because Rev 2 is in there.
Where are you? Because I was like, oh, let's try something else. Because I was searching for play something different.
Mm-hmm.
I landed on one of them. And did I pass it? I did. I don't know my ABCs. Sorry.
It's all right. Been out of school for how long
now?
Speaking of which, being back in school at this age, it's not the greatest, but I tell you what, anyone that is looking back to get into school, you have so much more drive, and it's so much easier to get your stuff done and be less distracted. So anyone that's going back to school, kudos to you, and just keep going. Keep your eye on the prize, please.
Did it?
All right. All right.
Oh, there it is. I think it was this one. It was Strive. Okay, Guilty Gear Strive.
Strive is the newest one. It's the newest one. It came out in 2020. Now, if you downloaded Rev 2, you're going to be like, wow, I hate this fucking game. There's more stuff that you have to do.
More stuff as in there's stringing combo along?
Stringing combos.
Okay.
But stringing combos is easier in Rev 2. But you have a kit where you can kind of break it off into certain levels of combos. So like if you start this, then you have option A, option B, option C. Right? As opposed to Strive, if you start this, you have this option. If you start this, you only have this option. If you start this, you only have this option. There is no straying. So it's very linear. I don't like being very linear. Now, mind you, is there people out there that can string some pretty shit together without being linear? Probably. Sure, there is.
Yeah.
The game, someone's always going to find a way to break a game.
Always, yes.
But with how Guilty Gear Rev 2 was structured, I liked how you had options to choose from, as opposed to this is what it
just
is when you started out. How you extend it is up to you. But I mean, Rev 2 was the same way too. How we extend it's up to you, but you still have options on how to extend it as well.
Right.
So that was my gripe about Strive. But Strive is a great game. It's a really great game. But that's just something I don't like about the skill gap and dumbing down games so that you can get more players. Because I mean, fighting games is niche anyway. So you already have a small knit community. And that small knit community is going to make that game go for as long as it possibly can.
Yes.
And then you're going to get all these other people that come in. They're going to play for like maybe 6 months and then never touch it again.
Put it down. Yeah.
And then you got the people who are diehards like myself, and you're going to keep playing the game. Even if you put it down for a little bit
and come back
playing
to
something else, you're always going to come back to it. Like, man, like just the other day, I used to compete in the Blaze Blue Cross Tag game on the PlayStation tournaments. Used to do that all the time. And just the other day, I was like, you know what? I really want to get back into that. And I fired it up on my PC and I played it for a little bit. And I'm like, oh, this combo is so damn, so good to land.
Yeah.
And it brought me back. So now I'm going to be playing it for a little while. True fighting game players do that. Casuals, not so much.
That's true.
So I do have a little small gripe, but I guess, I mean, the game's already made. You can't really change that.
I'm sure you can. You don't always complain enough and they'll change the game. Oh, what? I don't know how to find it. But I was just looking at it the other day. I forget the name of the game, but they were bullied into changing the game. But
you're talking about Suicide Squad?
I don't know if it was that game.
Because they were bullied into changing a lot of things in Suicide Squad. That's why they delayed it.
I found it at some point. Inserted it.
Yeah, I never understood why people got upset about that. To be honest with you. And I think it was like the small minority because DC is a pretty popular thing. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of people that probably were pissed about it, but I think they probably expected another Arkham.
Okay.
In that,
I think that's what. Yeah,
because they got mad over what was the other one that just came out with all the sidekicks. I can't remember the name of it. I'm doing it without consulting the Almighty. I'm doing this without consulting the Almighty. Please. Gotham Knights.
Gotham
No,
Knights.
Gotham Knights. Yeah, Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Gotham Knights. Yes.
Everyone was like, "Oh, it's only runs at 30 FPS." Well, thank the Series S for that. So don't start.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start. That's not their fault. And then it's like, oh well, co-op isn't all that great. Well, when is ever like a Batman a co-op game?
Yeah.
Any of the Batmans, I don't believe were co-op
ever. No.
So it's their first run at that. You can't give them too much of grief.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what was the storyline? Wasn't that great? A lot of people said, "Well, it's the sidekicks." You really think they're going to have a great storyline? You really think they're going to have like such a pinnacle thing happen? Besides Red Hood.
Yeah, because the sidekicks were only kind of brought in for one thing and that was it.
Yeah.
Now you want to put them in a video game. Yeah. And now you want to put them in and kind of expand on a story that's not really there, no one knows about.
Mm-hmm. I thought the concept was cool. I didn't play it, but I thought the concept was cool.
Yeah. I didn't check it out. But
I mean, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but, just the concept of like the sidekicks getting together.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, going back to the Batman Arkham Asylum roots, it being a detective.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really bored the fuck out of me on the first one. That's why I stopped playing it. But, I mean, Batman is a detective.
Right.
At the end of the day.
He is.
And, yeah, a lot of people just weren't happy with that. I don't know why, but
I don't know. Sometimes I do question, like, why is there an outcry because the game didn't have this? But I don't know. I take games for what they are. Did it hit my check marks? Yes. If not, okay.
I
don't get upset over the video.
I get a little upset sometimes. Not like that. Not like that though. Not like Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit much because Suicide Squad looks like Sunset Overdrive.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh man, we haven't had a Sunset Overdrive type game in a while, and that was a really good game.
I saw that popped up in the library recently. I was like, oh, interesting.
Don't we have that? It's in the library.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
And it was an Xbox exclusive, right? Yeah.
And is that going to come to PlayStation? I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think so. If Xbox, I'd be surprised. I'd be very surprised if PlayStation and or Switch got Sunset Overdrive.
Mm-hmm.
Because they marketed that hard as an exclusive.
They did.
But yeah, I think having to dumb down games for the casual, I guess, I mean, I could see it because, business, want more money generated. But at the same time, I guess they say for every 5 casual players, at least 1 or 2 of them are going to be like, oh, I like this game. I'm going to be really invested. And then buy battle passes, extra characters, and all the rest of that good stuff where they make their money, right?
Yeah. But,
it is what it is, I suppose. But I would have to agree with you. I don't like how they do this. I don't like how they do that. You got to tailor to people that understand what you're trying to do and what you're working towards.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we work hard to make sure that we play your game and make sure we play your game efficiently. And then you come out with another one where it's like, oh, well, no one doesn't have to play it.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting sniped from across the map. Like, hold up here. There's mechanics involved in sniping, homie. Like gravity, wind. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. But hey.
Well, yeah. Exclusivity. It's kind of a tricky thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It'll work itself out. But I guess our next one that I want to go into is remasters and remakes. Now, before we go into this, I want everybody in our comments about this. Would you rather have a remaster or a remake? And if so, why? Or do you think that they are just not worth doing?
Interesting.
I have a take on every single one of those questions.
Okay. Well, according to the almighty Google, a remake is defined as remaking the game from the ground up. A remaster is just a visual little, tidy up, fix bugs, make it look pretty, and I guess attach all the DLC content. So let me see my list here. So I just gotta go ahead. Yeah, we don't see them.
No, I don't think they don't listen to you.
So recently, there was, what do they call it? I guess a remaster of Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battle.
Yeah.
Released by LucasArts.
Mm-hmm. I remember that game. Me and Steve played many hours of that game.
Did you? So, I don't know. What are your thoughts about the game being, I guess, remastered to bring to current generation consoles?
So, games being remastered, it depends. To me, it depends. If they're older games that, and I'm going to be a little biased here, games that I grew up playing, or games that have been very prominent in a lot of us young boys and girls' lives in our age range, I would say within a span of 5 years ahead, 5 years back.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I would say that, yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
And so nice to bring it up to a current gen console.
Yeah, I think so because, we've talked about this before with game preservation. Like, we're not, not we, but, these companies aren't preserving the games that people grew up playing.
Correct.
I think we're doing a really good job with it, to be honest with you. Nintendo. And, Xbox was doing a good job, but they took all the 360 and original Xbox games off the market, which I thought was a fucking shame. Holy cow. That is a lot of money lost right there.
Right. Imagine the library.
That is a lot of money lost right there. That was not the answer.
Right.
Not the answer. Unless they're going to bring it back with what they're going to do with their future plans going ahead, talking about speculation that there's going to be a handheld, but we'll get into that later on.
They're halfway there, but...
They're halfway there? What do you mean?
Yeah, because you can log into your cloud.
Oh, yeah.
So
you
they're
log into the cloud. Yeah.
Halfway there.
So I think that remasters are good in a certain degree, right? And I think it's the perception of that remaster as opposed to, say, for instance, I'll give a prime example, and I'm gonna shit on these games, but at the same time, I haven't played them yet myself. However, I know they're good games. They're great games, and the only reason why I'm shitting on it is because the thought of them being remastered more than fucking once. Last of Us. Last of Us came out on, and GTA 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, GTA.
I love GTA. Don't get me wrong. I love GTA. But I guess for a game that's been out for 13 plus years on the 3 different console generations,
right,
it's going to be remastered. Like, okay, I get it, right? Because it's still relevant. And that's understandable. You're still making money off that Rockstar. Good for you. GTA 6 better be fucking amazing at this point.
Right.
Better be amazing. But Last of Us came out on PS3.
Wow.
Remastered on PS4. And then remastered on PS5.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Last of Us 2 came out on PS4 and then got remastered on PS2. Okay, one remaster's fine. But you got one game that got remastered for 3 generations. I'm talking to you, GTA, as well.
Well,
but we're talking about a game that has an online, we're talking about one game that has an online base that is current to this day, even with 5M on PC. That's different because it's still putting out fresh content all the time. And the other one is a game that's going to have the same story from remaster to remaster to remaster. Maybe a couple different iterations of like options or maybe a different weapon or some type of cosmetic.
But essentially, like it's the same game.
It's the same thing. When I found out that Last of Us 1 was going to get a remaster for the PS5, I said, that is a waste of resources.
I would agree.
Because that time could have been put to a new IP, maybe a new Last of Us game, or a Last of Us Part 2.5 or Last of Us Part 3, if they wanted to expand on it. I haven't played Last of Us 2 yet, so I don't know what happens in the end of that. I'll play it at some point because I got them both. But I was very upset when I heard that. kind of like what you said about earlier today when we were talking about The Sims, when they came out with Sims 1 and 2 repackaged. I feel a lot of people shouldn't be upset about that because I feel that those were lost games.
It's kind of half and half. What I've been scrolling through, some people are excited because it includes all of the DLC content.
Oh, see, that's good.
But then some people were mad because I guess at one point The Sims 2 was offered free. So now,
so was GTA 5 when it got upgraded to PlayStation 5.
4. That's true.
So was other games that were offered free until a certain point. So what are you going to get mad about if you don't take
people just being mad? No, I was thinking about it. I think it's a good idea. I enjoyed the first Sims.
Oh yeah, I think we all did,
and I think I stopped playing after that. But it's nice because I guess there was issues. That's what it was. That's why Sims 2 was free. I guess I don't know if you remember before EA had their own little account thing that you set up.
Yeah,
you had to buy an Origin account or create an Origin account. Then I guess when Origin went away, so did your Sims or whatever games you had. So that's why they offered The Sims 2 for free. But I mean, The Sims was a jam, man.
That was Sims was a jam. You can get married. You can have sex. All kinds of stuff.
Yes.
Because Sims was where it was at.
But yeah, it doesn't bother me. I'm glad it's brought up because you know what I was doing the other day? I was like, how can I play ATF Gold in 2025?
ATF motherfucking Gold. Hold up.
I caught myself the other day looking at gameplay. I was like, you know what? This game was kind of fun.
It was a true simulator.
So I think
beer number 3.
I'm kind of, on the fence about remasters and remakes. But then on the other hand, I don't like them at this point because they're not making other games. So if they were making other video games and making remastered remakes, then I guess it wouldn't feel so stale, I guess, out there in the gaming world.
I can agree with you. Again, until I'm proven wrong, like Final Fantasy VII. This prime example of a remake that I was like, no, this is not going to work. Why are we doing this? And it has worked because the remakes are amazing. I grew up on Final Fantasy VII as the PlayStation fanboy that I was. I played that game. I played the hell out of it. There was no way I could play it any different than what it was. The presentation was great. The storyline was awesome. The drop you into the world and be like, hey, figure your shit out was
no
awesome.
hand-holding?
No hand-holding. Like, I remember especially when I was in college, when I got extensive time to play it. It was, man, like, it reminded me, it kind of had the essence, and I think most RPGs do, they have the essence of Zelda, the original Zelda, where they just drop you, either you were in game A or game B. Game A dropped you on one side of the map, game B dropped you on the other side of the map, and they were like, all right, figure it out.
Good luck.
Yeah. And then if you won, impressive, Snake, like you accomplished something by figuring it out on your own. You figured out all the puzzles. You did what you had to do, whatever it may be. It was accomplishing knowing that you got dropped into something and you just figured it out.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy VII had that. And I'm like, no, Final Fantasy VII can't do this as a remake. It's going to ruin everything. It kind of has, really, to be honest with you, because they're slightly changing the story a little bit. And it's slowly evolving into a change. It's not so much like, oh, it's completely changed.
I think it's probably another reason why I'm kind of like, when they change the story.
Right.
Like, why?
Right. Like, again, I don't want to get into it because I don't know if anyone's trying to play it or not. But,
right.
And I'll talk about it a little bit. But like in the original Final Fantasy VII, Tifa and Cloud, kind of alluded there was a love interest there. I remember playing. I was watching one of my partners I used to be with. She was playing it, and I sit and watch her play it, and I'm like, did they ever like talk about Cloud and Tifa yet? And she was like, no, they didn't really, I mean, they kind of alluded to something, but it hasn't been really a thing. And I'm like, oh no, this isn't good. This isn't good. I haven't played Rebirth yet, so I don't know if they've done anything different.
Fleshed out that arc, I guess.
But, they got some like black shadows that apparently are kind of changing the timeline a bit, and that's where the change is going. Because in the original, the black shadows were all the failed Mako or Mako, whatever you want to call them, Mako experiments. So basically what they do is they would take like not prototype soldiers, but people that passed to be like soldier or whatever it is, or, have the physical attributes for it. And they would immerse them and radiate them with Mako energy. Mako energy was like energy from the earth.
Okay.
And if you got poisoned, you went in this kind of like coma-like state, but you weren't like asleep, but you were kind of roaming the earth, just mindless.
Zombie.
Yeah. So those were the black shadows in the original ones because they were wearing like little black cloaks. But these ones are now like almost, I wouldn't say demonic in a way, but they're kind of like spirits that are like, it's time to change the timeline a little bit. And it's just like, I don't know. Don't change it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it because it's already good. Don't fuck it up, please. So that's my only gripe about Final Fantasy VII Remake. But other than that, great game. Great game. Awesome game. Hands down, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Final Fantasy VII?
With remakes? And to me, it will just have to depend. But I think also, I'm with you where it's just like, like we could be making a different game. But at the same time, it's like, all right, I want to try and see if they actually like improve this.
Right.
Like there's some games that I would rather see either remastered or remade, like Hyoru Strider. The Strider games, I want those remade or remastered, at least remastered, because they were really good. I liked the sprites and everything for that, like little obscure games like that. You know what I mean? Like there's a game that was supposed to come out here that, oh my God, soundtrack's amazing. Chain Dive, original PlayStation. It was supposed to come out over here, didn't. I have a buddy of mine who when I was in Iowa, he allowed me to play it. He said, "You ever played Chain Dive?" I'm like, "No, I have not." I played the game. Oh my fucking God. One of the most fun PlayStation games I've ever played. Yeah. Original PlayStation at that. Fast pace, like you're flying around and all the rest of good stuff. No, I'm not talking about like flight. You're like using orbs that are in the air because your suit does this almost like a teleportation type thing to these orbs. And you have this like double-bladed staff and you are just fucking shit up in the process. Great game. Y'all check that out on YouTube. Chain Dive. It was supposed to come out in the States, but it is a Japanese exclusive only.
I wonder what happened there.
I don't know, but I will say if we're going to do a remaster, that one would be one. Or even a remake, I would do that. I couldn't catch the story because it's all in Japanese, but it seems like it's all over the place. But yeah, it's kind of, remakes are kind of a hit and miss, and remasters, I think, again, depends on the era you've grown up in to see if that would be a thing.
Okay.
I think remasters would be great for older games, and maybe some for remakes, like the remake in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yes.
Do I feel it needs to be remade? No. Because technically it's been remastered quite a few times, right? Because you had Metal Gear Solid 3, and then you had Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence.
Right. Substance, yeah.
Or Substance. And then you had, for the PS3, you had the Metal Gear Solid Collection. And then...
So that one was interesting. I think with the Metal Gear Solid Collection, then that's when it went to Xbox for the first time, right? Okay.
Yep. That's when Metal Gear Solid went to Xbox for the first time.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
So then you had the collection, and then now you have Volume 1 that just came out that has Metal Gear Solid 3 on it.
Yes. So I'm kind of thankful for that one because I started going down the collecting all of them.
I just bought I just bought Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay.
So I have it for PS Plus on PlayStation, but I was like, I don't want the physical copy.
Mm-hmm. So getting the collection kind of saved me from searching for them, I guess. So I was like, okay. Because I'm just, just want to experience the gameplay again. I'm not so much, I could really care less if they remastered or upgraded or whatever. It didn't matter. I just wanted to play it.
Yeah. Well, they remastered that way too many times. So if they came out with a remaster, I'd just like flip a table at this point. So, and I think the remaster remake debate. I think it's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can see where there's going to be a 50-50 split. Like, oh yeah, we need to remaster that, or we need a remake for that, and you got other people saying, no, we don't. We just want new fucking games, please.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we just have new games?
New games, yes, instead of giving us something to pacify us, I guess.
Because the last 5 years, the last 4.5, I guess. Yeah, 4.5 years. We have really got not that much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you look back at the PS2 original Xbox era, we were getting some bangers.
Yes, we were.
And some of them weren't even advertised on TV. You found them.
Mm-hmm. Word of mouth, baby.
Yeah, you found them. And
or you just went to the game store and exchanged.
You went to Blockbuster and you rented it and you made sure, like, oh, this is a game. N64, you found them. GameCube, you found them.
Mm-hmm.
PS3, kinda here and there, you found one.
Yeah.
It was few and far between, but you found one. Original Xbox One, they had a lot of bangers on that one.
Mm-hmm.
They did. Then came PS4, okay, there's a couple. Xbox One, okay. Well, everything PS4 has that.
Yeah,
there's a couple.
Yeah, I think PS4 and Xbox One, they kind of shared.
They shared
most of their games. Yeah.
Besides their exclusives, and their exclusives, the Gears exclusives weren't getting to be that great. And what else? They had Rare Replay, which was also also an exclusive. They didn't even, if anything, they didn't even update any of the controls for any of the games, which threw me off. Because I'm thinking like, okay, you're gonna update the controls. This is gonna be a really good game. No, Jet Force Gemini is what I bought it for. The game is amazing. I don't want to play a game that has C sticks. I don't need to play with C sticks anymore.
Yeah,
or C buttons anymore.
Oh gosh.
Because I remember vividly at Jet Force Gemini, you had to use the C buttons to move forward, back, left, and right. And you use the stick to kind of look. So, it wasn't, it was kind of a bad test.
Yeah, you're right. I did have a little issue playing Halo 1 on the Master Chief Collection because of the flashlight.
Yeah.
The controller layout was different, but
yeah, it was definitely different.
Used to it eventually.
But yeah, I just kind of lost train of thought there, but
so did I.
Oh, we're talking about games. Yeah, we're talking about like exclusives. But yeah, when they remastered that, it was just like, wow, they didn't really do a good job there.
Mm-hmm. They just threw something out there. I'm like, here you go.
But then here, this generation of games, we didn't really get a lot of stuff.
No, news already going out there of PS6 coming out 2027.
They announced that, I think, like what?
Did they?
2 years? No, 3 years ago. They announced
it makes sense because it's been 7 years or it'll be 7 years.
Yeah, it'll be 7 years by then.
Because I think
like a 7 year.
PS4 came out,
2013?
2013, then 7 years later we got the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just, I don't know, curious what are they going to do? Remaster, remake a remake.
I guess you can say that about the consoles now.
Yeah.
No, I can't say that. I can't say that because if you go back all the way back to PS2, it's like, man, what more can they do to the graphics?
Yeah.
It is so awesome. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh, they'll do better. They'll do better. They'll design better.
Right.
They'll have better engineering. They'll have better programming. For sure. Now, I couldn't tell you what it's going to be, but it's going to be better than the PS5 and Series X by far. But computer's going to have it right there because it's good enough for it.
Right.
So it's just one of those things.
Just one of those things.
But yeah, that's my take on the remasters and remakes. But yeah, I need some input from you all because
yes, share your stories with us.
Because I mean, if we're gonna be bitching and moaning about this, like this is definitely something to put out on the airwaves to the gaming gods or whomever the gaming community or atmosphere, because we don't want games that's gonna take up time when something else could be made or something else that of good quality could be made, not just any game. Like, oh yeah, just throw out some random fucking game and there you go, you know? Like, no, I mean, we've hit a point where we're getting into possibly another depression with video games.
Yeah.
With the amount of mediocre games that are coming out. Sega Genesis. The latter years of Sega Genesis, just mediocre games. You just want to put quantity out instead of quality. It's
Didn't
not.
PS4 suffer that?
PS4 did suffer that.
They came out, but didn't really have any games out. Huh.
PS4 suffered that hard for a while.
Yeah.
For like maybe the first few years. But then they started pumping out games. They started pumping them out hard. Like a continuation series like Assassin's Creed, for instance, there was one coming out every year. What was some other games that were like that? I mean, 2K, I mean, all the sports games were like
sports games, yeah.
But there were a lot of games, a lot of single games that came out, and hopefully the next game came out to fill the space after a while. All the Lego games, there was one new one every year.
That's right.
So I mean, they picked up steam after a while, but I mean, production for those games were a lot easier than, PS5, Series S, Series X. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand either. It's like, well, there's no games for this. Yeah, you're right. There isn't. And I mean, I share your frustration, but you have to understand now these people have to take more time and put in more effort to make these games. Let's be real. Some of these companies don't fucking care. Ubisoft.
Like, show me what you... Oh, gosh. That's a mess. I keep hearing something every day.
Yeah, Ubisoft needs to get it together. I'm telling you, I was just playing Breakpoint just the other day. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and I was enjoying myself. I was like, yes, this is the only game they came out with as of recent. That actually like plays okay. It's not the best by any means, but I enjoy it. It's a big ass fucking game, but I enjoy it. Do you have anything to add to that one?
No. I mean, I think I've shared my piece.
Yeah. Did we have any something else to share with them about this episode? Oh, yeah, I got a couple things actually. Yeah, saying something about the rumored Xbox handheld.
Oh, yes.
So, what do you think about that?
Everyone wants to get in on the handheld game again.
I'm just gonna say this: the only consoles that are gonna be able to stick with being relevant is going to be the Asus ROG, the Steam Deck, and the Switch.
Okay.
I do not believe the Xbox hardware is going to be something that people will buy because a lot of people will probably already have PC by then. People will either have the ROG or the Steam Deck, which I believe you can mod to make it so that you can have Xbox Gamepad on it.
I'm curious what the ratio is for that.
Between the ROG and the Steam Deck?
Xbox players, how many have a PC compared to a console? Or how many left the console and went to PC since you can do the cloud thing, cloud streaming of your games?
That's a good question. Maybe that's a statistic we need to figure out. Because I know for a fact that ever since 2020 hit, a lot of people were jumping over to PC, or a lot of people were making PCs because there was nothing else to do, and or you had a job that required you to have the computer, and
people had time to learn how to mod games, and
so I think during that time, during the time of nothing is what I call it. I think a lot of your Xbox players were slowly shifting towards PC. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you look at it, you have most people that are on console, I'll never go to PC. I know I said that. I said that numerous times. Master race my ass. Console's best.
Yeah.
And now it's all about PC now. Because it's just so much easier.
Easier.
You could access almost anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I mess that up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then every time my computer loads up, what's the first thing that comes up? My Xbox account.
Mm-hmm. Sign in. Here you go. Ready for you.
So, yeah, I believe back to the handhelds. I think those three are still going to be it. Now we're going to see how the Xbox. I mean, if this is a thing, now we're obviously speculating.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to see if the Xbox is going to be the handheld's going to be a thing. However, now you have people talking, or in other speculations saying that there's going to be a quote unquote Vita type for the PlayStation.
But they already. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I've been talking. Go ahead.
Well, they already have the whatchamacallit,
the Portal.
Yeah. So why do they want to go? I mean, I know with phones they did it small, big, small again. Now they're going back to big, so it's kind of like.
So, I think PlayStation missed that train on the Portal.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were to come out with a Vita, I do not think it would come out to be a hit.
Yeah, because you can access your PlayStation library from your phone. So why are you going to buy a Vita for?
Well, a Vita. Well, now mind you, a Vita would be completely a standalone.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Portal can be played as a standalone, but you still have to be connected to a PS5.
Gotcha.
I think that small difference would not make too much of a difference of people being like, oh, I'd rather get this Vita.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have already spent the $180, $200 to buy a PlayStation Portal. They're just going to be like, well, I have this already. I don't really need it.
Yeah.
I don't really need to get a Vita because now it has the standalone capability. Just sucks if my stuff desyncs from my PlayStation. I won't be able to play it. I just go home and just resync it. Right?
Yeah.
Unless someone gets really upset, just like, all right, no, I'm just going to get Vita. If this is a thing, again, this is all speculation. But I don't think that I think PlayStation should just stick with hardware at home because
call it a day.
I think they missed the mark with the Portal. I really think they did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that making it not a standalone. I don't think that was a smart move. I really don't. It's a cool concept though.
Yeah.
Right. Someone can watch their TV. Watch TV while you can play your game, like the Switch at home.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even play it on the go if you so choose, right? But you have to have like the best of internet to even do it.
Oh yeah, that's right. For latency and lag.
Right. And I kid you not, when I was playing it, and I didn't really enjoy it either, but when I was playing it, it was a lot of lag. Even when I was next to my PlayStation,
still the same.
It was still the same. Like it was like running still at 60 FPS, but the screen wasn't clear. It was just a lot of stuff going on with it. And I'm just like, you know what? Nah, man.
It's
like,
not me.
Like there's been quite a few things as of late that have been advertised as something that I thought was going to be, and it wasn't. And no shade or anything about that, but buy once, cry once.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I got the Steam Deck, I was like, okay, let me see if it plays any bigger games. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I don't really like how it looks because I want a better experience than that. And
yeah,
I didn't get that. And I'm like, okay, this is something I have to play on my PC. I thought, this would be able to play a little bit more of higher end games, but it's not. Okay, I'm just not gonna deal. That was when I was borrowing it from the guy I bought it from.
Yeah.
And I was going to give it back to him, but I was like, oh, you know what? Eric might like this.
Yeah, man, it's been a blessing. I'm like, game here, game there. And it's been great.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it.
I recently picked up Tokyo Extreme Racer. I don't know it's not so much, I don't know, would you call it a reboot, remake? Because they kind of built it from the ground up.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It's good. It plays like the older games from the PS2 era. And
what's the steering wheels now?
People are creating mods for VR, but they did. I guess it does have steering wheel support, but doesn't have like the force feedback support. But it's coming at some point. But as of now, it is in early access. So I guess Ginky, I believe it is, they stated that the early access is like half the game. It'll be early access for like 4 months. So does that put us at April, May?
Yeah, April, May, somewhere.
When the full release will be out. And allegedly, people who purchase early access won't have to buy the full game.
Nice.
But, like at the moment, it's a single player game, no multiplayer.
Yeah, that's how it was before, though. Right?
So, no microtransactions yet. It doesn't look like it'll be, but
I'm sure there will be something maybe to get extra money or something like that to buy in-game stuff.
Yes. So
currency.
Yes. So we will see what happens. Hopefully they do not include any microtransactions, but you never know. But it's a good game. I suggest everyone check it out. Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Yeah, I remember watching you play it when we were younger. Driving behind cars, like flicking the lights. Like, hey, you want to race? Like, oh shit! It looks like it's all you got to do. Is this what you have to do in real Tokyo on the highway?
That's what they do. That's what inspired them. I guess people would race on the highways there.
And they would just flick their lights behind people. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, I don't know.
All you see is like lights flickering. Like when I see that, I'm like, oh, my light's on. Like what's going on here?
Is there 5 around the corner?
Yeah,
what's up here?
It's crazy how different customs, like different things, equate to different thoughts in different countries. I said different like 4 times.
Different.
I'll say that 5 times. Different. But yeah, Tokyo Extreme Racing. Check that out. My other thing I wanted to talk about, Ninja Gaiden.
What's going on with that one?
Well, they got Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out now.
Do they? Okay.
Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm pretty excited about it. You're not actually the main protagonist at the beginning of the game.
Really?
You are not Ryu Hayabusa in the first part of the game. You are, I can't remember the guy's name, but you use a blood-wielding power.
Blood-wielding power?
Blood-wielding.
I have to... This is was a side-scrolling platform, right?
Back in the day,
series?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Like, I always saw the name, but I never picked it up.
I was thinking about picking up the Master Collection on PC.
I guess that'll include all of them.
Yeah, and then also it doesn't... So, all right. So it's kind of weird how this goes. So starting from the original Xbox, you had Ninja Gaiden. And then on 360, you got Ninja Gaiden Black.
Okay.
Or Ninja Gaiden Sigma, and then Ninja Gaiden Sigma Black, which was basically Ninja Gaiden Sigma, but with like extra content and then different difficulties. So the Ninja Gaiden Sigma was super difficult to begin with, even on the lowest difficulty. So you were able to have a lower difficulty in Black. That was kind of the big thing about that game. Because everyone was like, this game is so fucking hard. Yeah, it was. It really was. And then you had Ninja Gaiden 2 that came out on 360, PS3. And then I believe Ninja Gaiden Sigma Black was on PS3 as well. It was ported over there. Ninja Gaiden was a Xbox exclusive at one point.
Okay.
And then you had Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma Black, which just came out on the drop of the Ninja Gaiden 4 trailer. And then you had Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. And then you had Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3, Razor's Edge. And then I don't think they came out with a black. They didn't come out with a black edition for that one. Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3 was terrible. I remember I played it, and I will compare this, and everyone's probably going to be like, oh my God, why would you even say such blasphemy? I'm going to say it anyway because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I would say it was on par with Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay.
All cinema, no game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's why a lot of people consider 1 and 2 the better one, and then no one talks about 3.
Right.
So 3 doesn't even exist. They skipped 3 and just went to 4. I'm pretty sure there's people that like 3 that's out there that, just they're Ninja Gaiden enthusiasts. Yeah. I liked all of them, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you're entitled to your wrong opinions, I guess. Excuse me. I was sick last Sunday, so I was dying all week, and I have still been dying, but we're still on beer number 3. But
well, I hope you continue to get better.
Yeah, I will. Of course I will. Getting stressed out. Yeah, I'll get better. But Ninja Gaiden 3 was terrible. But then now we have 4, which I'm pretty excited about. I've always loved the Ninja Gaiden series, but the Master Collection only comes with like the latest games.
Mm-hmm.
So Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and then Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3. But yeah, the releases were a little different. They're a little iffy. Kind of got the same game but different stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure why they released so many games, to be honest with you, but they did.
Just to get them out,
I guess. But a lot of people still say that the original Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, was the better one, or Ninja Gaiden 2. I don't know. What do we call it? Jesus Christ. I got to go back to
their naming conventions that they use.
Yeah. Thanks, Xbox. Thank you. Appreciate that one.
What do you mean? We gave you a 360, then we went to 1.
Yeah. But, going into any other exclusives or any type of new games that are coming out, I don't recall of any games that I can remember that have been coming out. I think it was another Ninja game that came out, but I can't remember what the name of that was. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black got shadow dropped the same day.
This is a trailer. Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting, actually. It looks really good. It doesn't look as hard as Ninja Gaiden 2, though, which, again, those games were made to kind of dumb it down a bit.
Yeah. The casual player.
No, well, that one, I would say casual player, yeah, but that one
does take some.
Those games were rough, man. They were really rough. I'm just like, I don't know if this will work. We might have to come up with something different. Might have to do that. But yeah, that's all the speculation and new things that I got. Got any other news that you might want to mention?
No, nothing else for this episode.
Okay, yeah, but I thoroughly am excited for Ninja Gaiden 4. But I'm good here. I have to get to work 6:45 in the morning.
In the morning. Well, I hope you, ladies, gentlemen, enjoy listening to us.
The reasons that we fail. Sorry. My cabinets are made of rich mahogany.
Thank you for listening, and catch us on the next episode.
All right. Deuces.
Later.